they put, there's 3 children that basically the complaints was regarding, and how data was handled in previous cases, breaches to perpetrators, finding out that the social workers wasn't actually from the boroughs what they was claiming to be from. So basically I started complaints. What they done was gathered all my information for the complaints process. So I wrote my complaint. My first complaint would have been around, I think it was July. My serious complaint, formal complaint, because you know what they do, they make you think you've done a formal complaint and they'll send you an email and be like, oh, you didn't formally submit it to this. So basically complaints started 2019, yeah, September. What they done was ignored me all the way from September right the way up to March, when we have a trafficker called Oni Badsmore, who has businesses in, let me just get him up for you actually, hold on, but let me not lose track. Let me do this very slowly, bit by bit, because I don't want anybody to go unnoticed, not one flipping person. Sorry, bear with me. So I'm saying I'm really bad on a computer. I don't even, why is this? Because I want to keep this here. Okay, it's not clicking, it's frozen, and this is what I'm saying, this computer needs an update. Okay, tab, close this shit here a minute. Right, let's go on Company's House a minute. Let's go check out this Judge Perusco, who accepts children's court applications with no information. He done my previous cases as well. He's the one, how they do this, right? So in the courts, you'll have a judge what accepts the applications and pushes them through with ridiculous things like that. And then you've got a section for somebody that deals with threshold. So they're then the judge that's allocated to deal with threshold, even though there is no threshold. But what they done to me is, because they knew there was no threshold and I'd recently moved borough, they summoned me into court, and then they basically acted like, oh, we'll decide if there's threshold, but we're going to designate your case. They done that, but they never did explain to me why there was threshold. Now, when I go through my statement, like I said, I'm waiting for my friend to do something, but he's going to basically interview me so I can show you the stuff what's on my phone. Not everything's on this computer, because again, I don't trust them. I have a computer in my house that's just going to waste. But okay, Company's House, right, Perusco, who was also a solicitor previously for a firm in Bedford. So he used to actually represent working for the local authorities as well. And that's something else, that's conflict of interest. He's worked in businesses in the area, but then he's sitting in judging. They're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to. Bear with me, let's get this little Serbian man up. Miserable little Serbian man. Oh, starting a company. I'm not starting a company. Well, I did actually. It's called Reap What You Sow. Find company. Sorry, guys. Start now. Because there's a chain. People think, how hasn't this come out yet? Why don't you go to court? Why don't you appeal? Because I'm just going to show you the level of corruption. You can't appeal something what judges are involved in. Okay, what was his name again? And I actually met a couple other people at the protest that have also had problems with this judge, and he's affiliate, Mr. Spinks, who we will get into as well very, very soon. Mr. Spinks, Luton. Well, that's funny, because his business used to be registered to Bedford. He's not actually on there anymore, but we find an Elizabeth Rusco who's registered to Bedford, because this is what they do, you see. They get found out, they close, and then they just move them around. So I've just got a new one here now today. Appointed on 250. Occupation, pensions, admissioner. But I bet if we check this up, I bet this is nothing to do with old people, because this is who else they was targeting in the pandemic. They was kept from their families for 2 years. These same social workers was bragging on their Twitters that they had removed Down syndrome people's children's. Sick. They was bragging about this stuff on Twitter. Hold on, let me go back. What was this guy's name? And this is the thing, there's so many of them. For me to try and remember this without my paperwork around me is Patrick. There we go. Oh, there we go. Patrick. Here we are, Patrick. Here we are. Yeah, I've got everything saved, Jean. Don't worry. But it's just the stuff that is saved on is not even around me, because I don't trust them at all. And that's what I'm saying. I don't save. Nothing valuable is on this computer, because I know them I cancel. They have a copy of the key to my house. So that's not a great start. So anyway, this is Patrick Perusco. His company dissolved. It doesn't even give you a date. Look. It doesn't even give you a date of when this place dissolved. But this was a law firm in Bedford. He was a solicitor of just before he started judging. Look. So you think, why would a judge accept a fraudulent application with no thing on it? Or surely that was a mistake. No, they're not. I'm sorry to tell you, but the judges are involved. And this is why it's been so hard for people like me that have all this proof. So that's Patrick Perusco. Hold on, because I want to get some reviews as well to show you what his kind of feedback was of him when he was a solicitor, meant to be, pretending to be caring for children. Look, we got one there, we got this one here. For anybody, this one here is gold, because this one's actually where the man rests his head. And this is without sweating, because I don't sweat myself. Let's just say that. I don't sweat myself, but no one is going to get away with what they've done to my child. This is his home address. Occupation, look, occupation, solicitor. Correspondence address. Ouse Valley Farm, Duck End Lane, Biddenham, Bedfordshire, MK44AL. But even that, let's just how does he have, because I've seen as well on Company's House, why would he have two separate? These are both the same person, so surely they would fall under the same, you know. Look, same person, look. Date of birth, born the 1st of June, 19... Oh, it was just his birthday as well. Happy birthday. 1963. Okay, so he accepted the application for all 3 children, even though that the stuff was fraudulent. In 2018, the SGO was accused of kidnapping a child that was taken by local authority. So I don't even understand how that makes sense. They tried to frame a grandma kidnap. But we'll get into that. Like I'm saying, we'll go through this slowly. Let's just deal with the hierarchy. Let's just deal with the higher ups right now. Okay. Right, let's go. Contact centers. Okay. This contact center here actually belonged to Judge H.J. Davies, who was also a solicitor who represented local authorities in court. She started off, how she started was very different. You see, this lady's a very, she's a groomer. She's very sick, Al Lindsay. Because what Al Lindsay does things like this. Now, if you go and check up Cambridge and Eli Child Contact Centre, they are the only contact centre in the UK will offer free contact. They're the only provider in the UK what do not charge you for contact. What would desperate parents do who cannot afford contact? Run with open arms, wouldn't they? To something what they think is safe and is there to genuinely help them. Hold on, where is she? Where is she? Where is Lindsay? There we go. Now, pay very close attention to this address. And like I said, I'm doing this video one time only. It's going on the live But you lot need to take some serious notes. Now, this address, 3 Madingley Road, Cambridge, Cambridgeshire, England, CB3. Okay? Now, Lindsay's occupation, she was a barrister. She was a barrister. Bear with me. Let me just, on that, let me just to expand now, while the two are next to each other. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing here. I'm going to open up another tab now. Now, what's going to pop up here? Just, I don't know how this works now, because I don't know how this works. I do know how it works, but how they get away with this, I do not know. Now, oh, look at this beautiful building. Look, built is. Look at this beautiful building here. How much millions do you think went into this? How much? For the barristers to look, she thinks she's a queen. She's living life like a queen. And she kept on shouting in proceedings, I've got all the power. Right, so let's just, right, so that's the picture of it, just to show you lot, like, how they're sitting comfortably. Okay, barrister, Fenners Chambers. Ooh, connection is not private. Yeah, I thought so. Some rubbish. Some rubbish. Always some bloody rubbish. Okay. Hold on, let's get up. Oh, look, okay, well, the address is here anyway. It's not letting me click into the links, as you can see. Even that, I wonder why that would be. So this is their address. 3 Madingley Road, Cambridge, CB3. What was the address of the contact centre, please, guys? What was the name of the contact centre? Where was it addressed? Where is its address? Hold on, that's Eli. What's the other one she's got? She's got 2. She owns 2 because she's so greedy. And on that note, I'm gonna even I think they have changed some stuff around. Like I said, I've got the original screenshots in my phone, so anything I can't find here now, I'm going to definitely upload to my page. I'm getting a pen and I'm writing a note of things to go on my wall after, because I got these lot from 2 years ago. I found all this evidence 2 years ago, walked into Scotland Yard. They said to me, how did you get all this? They said, get out, leave. How did you find out all of this? I went there and slapped all their registration, all their car regs down, all their home addresses, all of this kind of stuff, and a whole lot more. And they told me to get out and leave. But we don't dwell, not when we've got all these cards. Right, so they've actually removed the other contact centre off here. But like I said, right, look, I'm making a note, guys. So I'm going to upload contact centre with the same address, because that contact centre was registered to the same address as, I'm just going to put Madingley. I'll understand my own notes, believe it or not. I've had to go through this so much time. Okay, so that's Lindsay. Hold on a minute now. Close. Right. Now, Lindsay was the director of Fenners, which they've took it down. Look, oh, just to show you this as well, how illegal they are. Look, because this shouldn't even be standing either. Watch this on Company's House. After I exposed the judge. I'll read you a statement after as well. Because I told her exactly what I knew what they was doing. I'll keep clicking on starting a flipping company by accident. Starting. Right, let's just... Right, so that business, as you can see on Google when you type it in, is there. Now... Where is it? It's not there, is it? No, because Miss Lewis Muir told them, I know what you was doing. So what they've had to do to hide all the people and everything that they have been doing, they've actually... So right now, as it stands, we have a barrister's firm, which is not even registered. It's not even registered. It's not even a registered barrister's firm standing up now in the bricks and mortar that it is. But they are collecting thousands of people's data, being passed data every day. Look, because what they had to do was clear the fact of, I knew that Judges was owning this business and that Judges was taking fraudulent statements. I've got screenshots. I've got screenshots. I've got something better than screenshots, actually. Because, look, they do stuff like this. So they think that they outsmart this Miss Lewis Mill. So watch what Miss Lewis Mill does. Watch what Miss Lewis Mill does. Watch what I do. They did not. They messed with the wrong mother. I am telling you that for free. I am telling you that. First of all, let's just read how long she was been an appointed judge for, because they've been doing this for years. Liza Gordon Saker, appointed to be a district judge. Liza Gordon Saker has been appointed to be a district judge of the Principal Registry of the Family Division with effect from Monday the 25th at 2010. She heads Fenners Chambers Family Group and was called to the bar in 1982 and was appointed a deputy district judge in 2006. Okay, now, where's it gone? Right, so we use this site now because they're starting to raise off Company's House, everybody. We start using Bezique. We start using Bezique because you cannot remove from these ones. It's way... Oh, okay, hold on. Show details. It's like, that's what I'm saying. It's like they've done something to my IP address. People think I'm lying about not being able to upload stuff or... Anyway, if somebody can verify that I've posted this information before. Anyway, it was read at the protest by somebody, and they read very clearly that she was basically the head of the law firm, working for the local authority. Her partner, let's click on her partner, Andrew Gordon Saker. Look at what his job is. Look at what his job is. Andrew Stephen Gordon Saker, born the 4th of October, is a British cost judge. Costs, money, finances, who has been a senior cost judge chief, taking master since the 1st of October 2014. So she came into play in Families Law 2010. She obviously tested the waters for 4 years to see what they could do and get comfortable and, you know, paint her face. And then he comes into operation 2014. London Borough of Camden, because this is very important. Okay, so that's his job. So when people ask me, have I appealed and what did the High Court say? They said I had no merits, but I'll read you the laughable appeals that, honestly, in my heart of hearts, I know Judge Bakker is a good judge. And to be honest with you, I know this man did not do his own appeal. My court appeal did not even have a seal on it. It had no signature, no nothing. So that's Andrew. So basically Liza owns the company. That's his wife. He's obviously in charge of money. Hold on, let's just go on now. Just want to show you. This is... And like I said, Davies was the director of this business, and she started off being a solicitor there. And then obviously, as you can see, she went to be a barrister somewhere else. HHHJ Davies, what do they know? Right, then you go on sites like this. Oh my gosh. Guys, I might have to try and tweak around with this and come back, because I don't understand why some of them are working and some of them are not. If you go on if you just do what I do, if anyone wants to do it now, they've got a spare device. If you just type HHJ Davies in and you scroll down to where it says cases heard, what this guy says is, he says his name was B. Maloney. He was a solicitor in a case. And what he says is, how many years is this woman going to be allowed to use her own basic law firms and sit in court? This is a disgrace and it's against human rights. He wrote something along them lines. This was in 2016. Look, since HHJ Davies was appointed on 2012, how many hearings has she taken where one of her parties were represented by... And then he goes on to say, and then what he actually does is drop a list of about 6 or 7 law firms who she's done this with. Now, this picture now, I love this picture of her. Should I tell you why? Should I tell you why I love this picture of her? Because if you look at this date here, the 21st of July, 2021, what they do is use media to lie. So basically, I told her in court what I thought of her. I knew of all of her scams, what she was up to. I knew they was all her students. Look, she allowed students into my home to pretend they was qualified. She allowed students to sit in court and use my grief, yeah, and fraud to pass these lots of assessments. This is what Lindsay's doing. But I love this picture of her. I love it. Because the day I was in court with this lady 10 days before. So when people like me have the facts that I sat in court, which you can see is all dated, it's all discussed what we spoke about because she sarcastically put it in. Mother thinks there's a conspiracy and we're trafficking children. She's actually been so stupid to write in my papers. She's actually been stupid enough to put the truth in the papers but try and paint like I'm the liar after she's made herself credible. After she's made herself credible, she is using Anglia Ruskin students from Peterborough to enter homes. That man Adrian I showed you, yep, he's one of her students who was getting an assessment out of me and my kid. Child proceedings are supposed to be 26 weeks. My proceedings was 14 months. My child met 13 different people, and every time I asked why, oh, because we haven't got capacity. Sorry, excuse me. Our staffing, we don't have the capacity because of COVID, because of this, because of that. It was always an excuse. I've even got a student who's started writing a statement in her name. My name is Katie Girls, and I work for the adoption agency, blah, blah, blah. This girl was being tested in court. I'll get to that part in a second. Someone else has signed it. When you look in your papers now, you can see that they haven't even been signed by the people that are meant to have written these statements. So to me, I can see you've passed your student off. And like I'm saying, like anything I've said today, look, I'm going to write that down now as well. Katie Girl's statement. Katie Girl's statement. And this is what they do. They use people that have similar names as well. So Katie Girls is apparently an adoption agent. Was an apparent adoption agency worker who listed that the child's mother was white, which I have on paper. I'll pull up that paper in a second. She listed that the child's mother was white because what they want your children to do is be running around looking for you like a needle in a haystack. They do not have the correct date of birth for me, so you cannot have removed my child because let's just pop up the law. Let's just get up the law. Let's just get up what their own thing says. I'm just going off subject just quickly. Sorry, I'm going to pause this a second. Let me just see what comments people have written, just in case anyone's answered any questions. I want to be as thorough as possible on how this is working and how people are being done injustice. The courts are basically using the local authorities as send-outs. Everybody thinks it's social services. It's actually not. I'm sorry to inform you people. Yes, we hate them. Yes, but they're doing a job for people like this that have put monies into businesses. That's who they work for. They don't really work for Cambridgeshire or Bedford local authority. They use that badge, which I'll show you about in a second. They'll use a badge, but they're not really working for the place. Like I said, if people have been following my stuff, they've already seen I've posted certain stuff. I'll do it again. I don't mind. That's what I'm saying. I've got nothing to hide or lose. I'm very clued up. Right. What is required if data is proven to be inaccurate? In court proceedings. In court is what I need to type. Because in court, if they even spell your name wrong, things like that, that you did not. If I went to court and they summons me and they asked me my name and I ignore them, then that summons does not actually apply to me. Yes, they can arrest you, but then you just be mute in the cell as well. What are they going to do? Because now they're holding you against your rights and they don't even know if you're the person that they say you are. And because where they do this stuff now, let's see how far they're going to get with me, with trying to summons me to court ever again. This is about NHS. They had my date of birth down is the 11th of the 2nd, 93. That is not my date of birth. My date of birth is the 1st of the 2nd, 1993. Hold on, let me just... Right, anyway. So this is what she's doing. So she was basically director of the law firm that basically was represented by the local authority. Wicked, wicked woman. And like I just shown you, she owns all the contact centres. So that's these two now. Okay, so now... Okay, let me... Oh, email. People say, why haven't you reported this stuff? 1 second. Let's show you all the police reports. So I'm saying I've been ignored. And then police do some idiot things. Right, Michael Gentilella. This was, look, my solicitor, Michael. SBS Law in Luton. The worst. The actual worst. He was also paid. Got the proof of that somewhere. He continued to claim my legal aid after the child had been removed with fraudulent grounds, and he did not. I went through a whole court case, let me just tell you, without being allowed to submit any evidence as well. That's how biased this judge was. She let them sit there and say everything about me, and pieces of paper like what I showed you, like things like this. I don't know, some of you missed it before. So they said that their concerns was that I had bipolar. This is why Ocean was removed on the 1st. I don't have bipolar. Never have had bipolar. Even if I had, there's millions of parents that have bipolar and are loving parents and have never caused their children harm. Thank you very much for your request for enclosing written consent. Miss Lewis-Muir has declined consent for copies of her medical records to be sent. Don't be fooled by these people. Unless a courts make an order, you're not actually obliged. And even then still, because you still have time to appeal. I don't see how they do this so fast. I declined consent for copies of medical records to be shared. That is correct, because I do not want false information being shared around about me. And furthermore, you had no reason, because you were students in the university, some of you, and some of you was other things, but I'm going to go through. We have passed copies of full medical records to Miss Lewis-Muir as per her subject access request. This is what I done them too early. Before things got sour, I done them too early. I'd already accessed everything, but then what I done with them was toyed with them. I knew what they was up to, so I thought, okay, let me do this. Let me access my records, leave it a few months, act stupid, and then let me access it again. I'd done that 4 times with medical records, and they're all different. They're all different. So you'll see that as well. The original records you first access will change. I advise anybody that hasn't already to do a SAR access request, but even with a SAR, they're using your passports and your identity to then go away and do other stuff. We'll get into that in a second. The lady registered at our practice on March, and this report is based on her medical records, as I have had no personal contact with her. There is documented history of anxiety, and I note that social services have been involved. There is also a previous history of eczema and asthma. She has been on sleeping tablets and antidepressants in the past, last prescribed in 2013, but is currently not on any medication from us on repeat. Her last prescription in May was for treatment for her skin, and in April an inhaler and antibiotics for a chest infection. So nowhere here, look, their own doctor, I don't see any mention of bipolar. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to that first statement, the application that was filed to Perusco. And now I'm just gonna hold something up for you. Look, sorry, bear with me. Bear with me. This is the lies what they do, and it's all from the beginning. I knocked out every piece of alleged threshold what they had. Alleged threshold. She was representing me to start with, but I didn't find she was assertive enough. And the mistake I made was changing from her, even though she's involved as well. Perusco used to work very closely with Christine Quinlan when he was a barrister and solicitor. He used to work very closely with Christine. But she's got a more softer approach. She'll act like she's a very nice solicitor. She'll buy your trust. Oh, Miss Lewis-Muir. She'll do all this. But then when you start going through her emails properly and you're trying to access your stuff and she's put locks on it, why would you do that if you genuinely want to help your client and it's my stuff? So anyway, Just like I said, Lindsay posted that picture on the 21st, the 10th of the 7th, 2021. The best person, look, I've had to go to my old solicitor who stopped being my solicitor in 2020 to get my stuff from this solicitor here, Michael, because he didn't give me any piece of paper. The courts didn't serve me one order. Everything that was served goes through your solicitors, because then technically the courts haven't broken the law because they haven't sent you anything. They have. So this is why they're all in on it together. He served me every single order. The courts did not serve me one order for Ocean. Not one letter got sent to my house from the courts regarding family matters. I kid you not. I kid you not. Look, I've had to go back to her after my child was taken, the 10th of June. Wait, what does this date say here? Isn't that ironic? Oh, the 11th of June. Ocean was taken on the, well, placement order was made for Ocean. What I thought was a placement order. On the 10th of June 2021, I've had to go back to Christine to get my bundle. Look, because he wouldn't serve it to me and he wouldn't put not one piece of evidence in. Hi Christine, please can you send the original application for the hearing last year, April 2020. There was issues with them serving and we had to seek adjournment of time due to them serving late and you having to wait for papers to be served to yourself. Because what they done was went to court in secret, and you'll tell by dates now when I speak, the things that they've changed in the newspapers. You lot have to look out for newspapers. This is how they communicate. This is what I've actually been learning. They communicate through newspapers. It's not for publicizing to, you have to look at the keys, you have to look out for the keys, and you have to read in between the lines. For example, the word pizza really meant child. The UK, they don't use the word pizza. But Christine, I've had to go back to Christine. And like I'm saying, I've showed you lot this application, which was just hideous, And I'm going to pop it back open now just to get, you've just read my medical records, no such thing as bipolar. Look at how evil these people are. Look at how evil these people are. My stomach churns. This is how bad this judge has been. That's what I'm saying. I've had the proof there all along. She's so evil. Her judgment cost the child its life in 2013. That information's been deleted as well since I've been ranting at them about it, but I've got that. 2013, what Lindsay done was remove the father from the house, who was the sober party, and she left, I think a one-year-old baby was smothered in the night by its drunken mother. Because what she done was made sure that the father left so the child wasn't protected. And then she let this alcoholic mother, smother its own baby. So why is she even judging? 2013, a baby died because of her judgment, and she's still judging. And we've seen on What Do They Know, other people are saying, how long has she been doing this? How long has she been doing that? Just little things that they didn't even have this girl's birth date. But it's premeditated. It's premeditated. This was the age, what she was when everything was final. They're pre-doing the cases. They're pre-doing them. Sorry, I'm trying to not breach any privacy of this name here. I'll use his music name, but I won't use his legal name. But we'll get into him another day. I've got time for that one. Yeah, so that's what they was doing. They pre-do the cases. They wrote the age. They've pre-done this. And I know, because what they said, I've got it written down. Can we go away and change the dates now, Judge? After they done all of this to me with all this false shit, they then sat and asked their judge and got an order, can they go away and change the dates? So now what they're doing is secret their case, what they think is in secret behind my back right now. But I have proof that they're doing this case. Alright, hold on. Sorry, let's just go to this bit in regards to the health. Look, poor care, look. We'll get to that in a minute, because there was allegations that I done things to this child and I done things to people. We was on holiday in Disneyland. They've made out this child was neglected. They lied. So they said that the child was removed and I walked into court with him. That's how funny I am. They didn't know what to do. They said that this child had been removed from my care and I walked into court with him in previous proceedings. They're disgraceful. Disgrace. Where is it? Look, here we go. The child is at risk of suffering significant harm due to the mother's fluctuating mental health. This being evidenced by the mother's previous diagnosis of bipolar affective disorder, emotional stable personality disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and has experienced depression and anxiety. I've experienced anxiety. I've experienced PTSD at the stakes of what the police done to me in a cell. Who wouldn't? And then I further experienced it because what they do is they bring everything back up to a person who's got PTSD. You're not meant to do that. I'll pop that letter up from my doctor as well, because my doctor actually writ what they're doing is disgrace. My doctor actually writ what they're doing could be more damaging because of the PTSD. You should not be raking up anybody with PTSD's past. So the fact of we're in the third proceedings with these people because they've got it wrong 3 times, and this is the third hearing now where they need to tidy up their shit because I filed an N1 to sue them. This is where this all, with my complaint, I filed an N1 which kept magically disappearing. But look, look. This is my doctor's. Now, who's going to know more about my health? A social worker statement? Social worker statement or my actual GP's? Hold on. That's what I'm saying. I don't even want to make this too much about me, but I'm just showing you this went through as basically threshold when I'd already proven this before the child was taken on the 1st of October. So why was she taken? She was taken on the 1st of October because Gordon Saker had said that mother had a diagnosis of bipolar. That's what they done because they know how far I've gone with them. So now they're trying to paint me like there's something wrong with me. Okay, this one's important here. In June 2019, the mother behaved aggressively to her health visitor, resulting in the health visitor feeling threatened and needing to take protective action for her safety. Hold on. Because you do know that the midwives are involved. When the midwives are getting all your baby's data and they're telling you that they want to test if your child's Down syndrome, they want to do this, that's all a lie. All they're doing is actually getting your child's DNA already before it's born. They're just extracting its DNA. We all know they're lies. I could sit here all day and go through my stuff. All day. Oh, sorry, let me just show you the statement actually from the health visitor. This is what I'm saying. This judge is so silly. So silly. Where's my emails disappeared to? Okay. Just want to show you this statement from this health visitor. First statement of Jacqueline. Look at the date. Over a year later. Look, this is meant to be a court statement, by the way. What does that say at the top? Court statement template, November 2019. Didn't I just show you guys the date, I'm sure? That is not an official statement. It's not. Look, dated the 9th of the 3rd, 2021, court statement template 2009. There's things like this we need to look out for. It's these little dead giveaways that we need to look out for on things. This is not such an official, but on court orders and things like that should not be on there. And court orders will always have a thing, but even that, they can move. Anyone can get a court order and use it as a template. If this logo at the top here, where it's meant to appear on a court, if you get that up electronically and it moves, it's fake. Blah, blah, blah. Look, 1st of the 2nd, this is my date of birth. But I'll show you what they have written down for me, every professional and the courts. Because what they're doing is, if they write down an incorrect date of birth for you, then you can never access the information, can you? And then that means that they can sit there and build all these fake cases on you behind your backs. And then when you do something like write a complaint, they sling you in court and they come with the most rubbish. I was contacted by staff at the local refuge to inform that Fenners Ocean had recently moved to the refuge fleeing a domestic abuse relationship. I arranged to complete a visit on the 26th of the 6th, 2019. Prior to the refuge, Ocean and Fenners were under the health visiting service in Bedford. I attended the refuge on this day as a part of regular contacts to the property. Staff at the refuge reported Panache and Ocean were not in at that time. Staff advised there had been no reported health concerns for Ocean by Panache. 1 second. 8th of the 10th, I was contacted by staff at the local refuge to inform Ocean and Panache had been evicted from the refuge. Remember the date I said I wrote my complaint? I wrote my complaint September, and this is when all of this kind of activity started. But I thought it said I attacked this woman. Where's that statement? The other statement said I attacked her, was abusive or aggressive to her in the July. The 10th of the 10th, I contacted Panache to obtain up-to-date address information, which she's not obliged to. I'd been evicted from a refuge because I went on holiday. I asked them permission. Can I go on holiday? They said yes. I went away for 2 weeks. I come back, there was an eviction notice under my door, and all of this bollocks had started because of a complaint. She wrote on this date to obtain an address. So, hypothetically speaking, I'm a mother with bipolar, like you've written down. Me and Ocean haven't been seen since July, but you contacted me in October. That's not good enough. That's neglect. That's neglect. That is neglect. During this telephone call, Panache was abrupt. The lady calls me. She's like, where are you? This is what they do. They think they can speak to you. Like, this number was not a no number on my phone. There was no hello, my name is Jacqueline, I'm from this department or such. I've got the call recorded still, so I don't care. Where are you? Sorry, who are you, the perpetrator? During this telephone call, apparently I was abrupt, I was rude, I was aggressive. I've still got the text in my phone from this lady. I was no way, like I said, I've got the phone call. I was no way aggressive. I might have been abrupt because you've called my phone after, July, August, September, October, 3 months and made contact with me asking where I am. And you've met my house. Okay. During this telephone, I informed Panache I would be terminating call due to her behaviour. No, you terminated because I said, where have you been for Ocean the past 3 months? If you have got concerns, or why are you just seeking an address now in October? Panache continued on 5 further occasions to make contact with myself. Yes, I requested her manager's name because I wanted a complaints procedure, because you went away for 3 months, neglected my child, and I'd been evicted from a refuge, but you didn't bother where Ocean was. It's only when complaints come, people started reaching out. This statement pertains in my contact with Panache and Ocean in June as per the court directive. I saw Ocean at the refuge for movement in visit. Ocean presented as a healthy child and was clean and appropriately dressed for the weather. Ocean immunisations were reported to be up to date and she was registered at a local GP surgery. Ocean appeared to be reaching her appropriate milestones for her development. This was my one and only contact with Ocean. Sorry, let's continue. I didn't even see this bit at the time. As I said, they say so much bad stuff about you. I don't even take in